Agriculture and Rural Development Minister Mohammed Abubakar says the federal government is working towards bringing down food price inflation in Nigeria. The minister said the rise in food prices was not peculiar to Nigeria, but a global issue caused mainly by climate change, Russia-Ukraine war. Mr. Abubakar stated this at the end of the Federal Executive Council meeting, which was presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the State House in Abuja. He reaffirms government's commitment towards tackling the current inflation and other challenges of food security in the country. The council also approved the total sum of 14 billion naira for the construction of the new office for Federal Inland Revenue Service in Lagos, with a completion period of 24 months. Well, the Independent National Electoral Commission, that's INEC, is reassuring that the data on the bimodal voters accreditation system will not be compromised. This time, the assurance is coming from the INEC's deputy head of ICT, Lawrence Bayode, who says the commission has put measures in place to ensure that the system will not be hacked on election day. However, Mr. Bayode did not dispute the fact that hackers will try to beat the system, but insists that the electoral body has tightened every loose end towards ensuring that the BVAS is safe, and then that the more they try, the more they will meet a brick wall. For some time now, there has been apprehension over possible attack on BVAS by suspected hackers. But with this reassurance from INEC, it is clear that the system will be well protected and fully deployed during the 2023 general elections. And still on the 2023 general elections, more support is mounting for the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. In Enugu, the Federal Character Commission in charge of the state, Gineka Tor, has inaugurated the Igbo-Kwenu support group for Tinubu Shettima campaign. The commissioner told Ndigbos that the 2023 presidential election would not be decided by emotions and sentiments, but antecedents of various candidates. Bamidele Ajayi has details.
In less than 3 months, Nigerians will be heading to the polls to elect leaders at various levels of government. What that means is that the electorate also are silently making frantic effort to elect credible leaders that will meet the yearning and aspiration of the citizens. In Enugu State, different socio-cultural associations, pressure groups, and interest organizations are now pitching tent with candidates and political parties of their choice.
To do my best and to serve.
For this pressure group, aligning their political understanding with the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his running mate, to them is the best option among others.
The man we're talking about is Ahmed Bola Tinubu. He is not just very credible, he has a record of performance. And what Nigeria needs today is a man who has a record. We have no reason to go either left or right.
Most Igbo persons are involved in this because they now know that there's a voice that can take them to the promised land. And we believe in the capacity of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shettima.
The coordinator of the group acknowledged the Igbo contributions to nation building, urges people of the zone to vote massively for APC as a viable political platform that will secure a better future for the region.
And Igbos need to come on board to begin to reap the dividends of democracy. And that is why we are out to speak to our people. We shouldn't make the mistakes we've been making before. So it is time for the Igbos to think smart, think wise, and get on board real circle of politics. We are still outside the circle. We need to get on board. And it takes a man that has given us the opportunity.
I'm not even going to convince anybody. People already know him. So the message I'm going to take to them is going to be very simple. Vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
With a little over 100 days to the 2023 general election, hopes are high for candidates whose grassroots support base cut across geopolitical divides in the country. The newly inaugurated members are expected to crisscross the 260 political wards of Enugu to market the candidacy of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima as a team that Nigeria needs to move the country to the next level of development. Bamidele Ajayi, TVC News, Enugu.
To other matters now, where Nigeria's oil company is saying its engagement with private security is paying off on its quest to end crude oil theft in the country. The chief executive officer of the company, Mele Kyari, made the declaration at a summit on legislative transparency and accountability. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
For several years, Nigeria's oil and gas sector has been synonymous with opacity. Until 2018, the accounts of the NNPC had been shrouded in secrecy in violation of the act establishing it. Generally, the operations of many government agencies in the oil and gas sector were kept away from public scrutiny, giving room for corruption.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen,
this summit is one of the contributions of the House of Representatives at helping to eradicate graft and make the sector more efficient, especially in view of the new Petroleum Industry Act.
It will provide us a platform where the major operators can outline the ways in which this new legislation has provided an opportunity that will promote transparency and accountability in their operation.
Our objective must be to use policy instruments to improve the industry's outlook and maximize its potential for however long that is possible.
As patriots, we owe ourselves the duty to provide solutions that will help to present and the future generations.
What we have done here today will ensure a transparent future Nigeria.
For the NNPC Limited, crude theft remains a huge challenge in Nigeria, with about 60% of the nation's revenue being lost to the vice. But it acknowledges some breakthrough with the engagement of private security contractors. So far, 2 trunks have been restored, but NNPC also raises the alarm on threats to life as a result of the fight against crude theft.
We are open to an open forensic audit of everything we are doing, and we are inviting it so that the Nigerians will know what we are doing. But it is not possible for you to buy fuel at 170, 165 naira when your actual cost is far, far away, thrice that value.
Discarding confidential clauses in contract agreements, consistent and transparent audit of NNPC Limited, and regular audit of its physical assets are some of the suggestions made to attain transparency and accountability in the oil and gas sector.
This summit has brought to the fore the significance of transparency and accountability for an effective petroleum sector management, and more importantly, the target is to improve Nigeria's business climate. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.